Fancy seeing you here. Welcome back. So far, we've seen why remembering time feels elastic and under your control. Today, we're going to look at the exact opposite of that, which is not the future. It's actually the present, because there's less control in the present than there is in reconstructions of the past or constructions of the future. So, why real time experience often feels bandwidth constrained, why time flies when you're busy, and why novel situations can make it feel like time is slowing down. In the present, reconstruction events are not self generated. They are driven by incoming prediction error from the world. Your brain is constantly making predictions about what should happen next. And when the sensory input deviates from those predictions, a reconstruction event fires. Pew pew and to update your model of what's happening right now. Unlike the past, you don't control the rate, the environment does. The more change, novelty, or unpredictability in the world around you, the more prediction errors arrive. We've called those before novelty updates, and the more reconstruction events that your brain has to generate, right? So it's more things you need to remember because you have to learn from whatever's going on right now so that you can remember it later so that you can make better future reconstructions and know not to run off the cliff because running off the cliff will kill you. Here's where it gets counterintuitive. Your brain has limited processing bandwidth, right? So if you think of it like a computer with tabs, you can only have so many tabs open before everything slows down. Um, Unfortunately for you, when there's too many tabs, it feels like things are speeding up, not slowing down, because the human computer, is slowing down, which makes it feel like everything you need to do is speeding up. So when the president is demanding a lot of prediction error coming in, your brain sends most of its resources just to try to keep up with whatever signals are coming in. There's very little spare capacity left for like the meta level reconstruction that creates a rich sense of time passing. And this is why time often flies when you're deeply engaged with something demanding. Heavy traffic, fast-paced work, playing a demanding video game, being in flow state. Time flies when you're having fun, right? When you're doing things that are really like utilizing all of your abilities, that leaves less resources to be able to try to like snapshot capture the experience. So when you go to reconstruct it, you can slow that down, but in the moment, it's going to feel like it actually happened much faster than it did. Your brain is generating tons of reconstruction events just to stay oriented, but almost none of them are available to create the subjective feeling of the rich temporal experience. The bandwidth is fully taken up. There's an important distinction, though. When the environment is both novel and manageable, you can keep up with the prediction errors. You have enough extra bandwidth to be able to create those extra snapshots of what makes things feel rich. So to get the high reconstruction density plus enough spare bandwidth to feel it richly, this is when time dilation happens. It feels like time is slowing down, and when the environment is overwhelming, too much error, too fast, bandwidth gets completely consumed, and time feels like it disappears. This explains why a boring, familiar route makes time fly. You can actually get to the point where your conscious brain will actually take a break while you're driving home on the same old commute. Feels super dangerous. I don't know the science behind how dangerous it actually is, but nonetheless, you can go on autopilot, and sometimes that happens, and you don't even realize it until you pull into the house and you're like, whoa, where was I the whole time? You were taking a break. A dangerous but familiar situation can also make time fly. High arousal but low genuine novelty. A genuinely new but handleable experience. First time in a foreign country, learning a new skill makes time feel expanded. The practical implications of this is the mechanism gives us a much cleaner understanding of everyday time experience, right? Flow states feel timeless because prediction error is perfectly matched to your skill level. So it's just like you're getting each of those snapshots and then you're utilizing the right amount of bandwidth. Overwhelming stress compresses time because bandwidth is maxed out. You're spending all your bandwidth trying just not to fall apart, and that causes things to feel like they're just flying by. And of course, when things feel like they're flying by, it's not necessarily that it felt like the stressful situation got over really fast. What it felt like is you had no time to react and no time to actually do any of the things that would meaningfully make that experience less stressful. Mindfulness practices work partially by deliberately reducing the unnecessary prediction error, freeing up bandwidth to actually experience. So, when we talk about that piece over here where we're using this to kind of deal with the situation and then we have extra bandwidth, mindfulness kind of expands the amount of extra bandwidth that you have so that you can more ritually, yeah, more richly experience that moment, which allows your recalls to have more depth, right, when you're thinking about the past. The present doesn't feel the way it does because of some mysterious internal clock. It feels this way because reconstruction in the present is externally driven by the rate of real world change. In the next video, we'll tackle the strangest one: why imagining the future often feels like a low fidelity slideshow rather than like a smooth, continuous experience. If the series is clicking for you, drop a comment. Drop whatever you can. Does time usually fly or drag for you when you're busy? Thank you so much. I'm lost. Where's the button?